Hello everyone, this is Gruesome Herzog. My very special guest today is actor-director Shaun Troke. How you doing, Shaun?
I'm good, Scott. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm not so bad, not so bad. It's actually nighttime here at the moment. How's it where you are?
It's snowing.
It's snowing, really?
Yeah.
It's still daytime as well.
Yeah. So, what's the weather like in England?
It's cold at the moment, so it's kind of like snow. We had snow about 2 weeks ago, so it's gone now, though, so it's just really cold still.
Okay, so now is your season the same as ours? I mean, I know Australia, it's reversed.
Yeah, exactly, it is. It's exactly the same here. I think we're on the same sort of climate level as well.
Okay.
So that's good, yeah. So, because you're just now from New York, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in PA. Yep.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to Pittsburgh.
Okay, so I'm 4 hours away from there. I'm like 60 miles from Philly, so...
Wicked, okay, that's awesome.
Anyways, I want to thank you very much for coming on today. That's
no problem.
Pretty exciting. The first movie I want to ask you about, I got to make sure the listeners understand that they don't get confused by this. The movie that you did was called Martyr in 2006,
that's right.
Not the movie Martyrs in 2008.
Not the movie Martyrs, no. Easily confused.
If you don't mind, would you mind explaining to the listeners exactly what this movie is about?
Sure. It's basically the writer Tom Shan, who was also the producer. He actually wrote the film, and he came up with the concept based on the Book of Job from the Bible.
Okay. So
he actually wanted to make a modern day version of that. So he basically took the small story from the Bible and converted it into like 20th century sort of format. And so basically, the character is called John in the film, and he kind of replaced Job from the Bible. And that's pretty much the story of it. So
Right.
It's basically a bit about how God tests him in many ways and see how long his faith will last. And so it's a really good concept of story, I thought. And it's quite an original concept because I've never seen that done before, to be honest. So it was good.
Yeah, and the funny part, not funny part, but the weird part about it is he made it into a horror movie.
Yeah, it turned out more like a thriller film, I think, in the end. The whole aim was to be like a horror film, but obviously it's low budget, and I think to execute horror as well on a low budget, you really have to do it well. There has to be a lot of scares and everything like that. And I think there was more in the story than there was for horror aspects. So I think that's why it became a thriller more so.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
definitely. But I think it's still categorized as a horror. So yeah.
Yeah. Now it's technically it says it was released August 19th of 2006 in the UK. So
That's right.
you did say that the movie is not available, but it was available online, correct?
It was available online. He had a website up, Tom did. It was like helmstoneproductions.com.
Okay.
I think it's actually disappeared now. It disappeared early last year, but it was online and you could actually download it and everything like that. But I think it's been taken off now, and I think there might be a chance it will go up in the future. I'm not sure completely,
right.
But could do.
But Tony Bowden playing God?
Yeah, he actually, because he wasn't to pay Satan originally and stuff like that. But when we had the guy come in to try it for God, I mean, it's just they sort of worked opposites really, and it kind of worked well. So,
right.
Yeah, and I think Tony's voice is actually dubbed in the final release as well, which is quite amusing. So.
Oh wow! And then of course it's Christopher Dane as Lucifer.
Yeah, he was very good. And he's I think he's a very good actor actually. He's from Denmark, to be honest.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's really good.
And another good actors in here I like too is Jason L. Davis.
Jason's cool as well. Yeah, I bumped into him in the coffee shop a few weeks ago actually. I haven't seen him for like years. He's actually living over in America now, I think. So.
Yes, yeah. And you played a character by the name of Dan, right?
That's right. I had one little scene, so that was all I had. So yeah, I was playing like a guy who actually auditions a band, and so yeah, I had a scene with Trey Farley, and that was pretty much it. Really, it was just a small scene.
Yeah,
it wasn't cut. I didn't decide to cut myself. It wasn't that bad or anything. So.
Well, the reason why I have you on here is because of the trailer that I seen. I just came across on YouTube for some stupid reason.
Okay.
The movie's called Sparrow in 2010. It's a horror flick.
Of course.
And do you want to tell the listeners basically what this movie's about?
Sure. Yeah. It's about 6 teens that go into the woods, and only like 1 or 2 of them are aware of. There's like a myth about the woods. There's this guy that goes around killing people, and they keep it quiet from the rest of the group. And so when they all get out there, that's when they realise that there could be some truth in this myth as strange things start to happen. And I'm not going to give too much away, otherwise it'll ruin it for everyone. So, yes, so that's pretty much it. They go into the woods and, strange occurrences start happening.
And it was filmed in Poland.
It was filmed in Poland, I know.
That's crazy.
I know, it's quite, it was Yeah, it was a good experience, like, to go and see Poland. I mean, Poland was never on my to-do list or anything like that. I don't mean to offend anyone from Poland, but it wasn't on my list. So going to see Poland was actually quite an eye-opener, really, to see what it's like out there. So that was good. And I spent 2 months out there with Wojciech, the producer, and his family, and yeah, it was good. I mean, I did like, the whole Poland experience. It was good, so that was good.
Right, and then there's a I'm not going to offend nobody because there's a lot of good writers for movies, but Matthew Mosley, I think, is a very creative writer.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't know what else he's done. I think he's working on the script right now as well.
Okay.
Yeah, have you read any of his stuff at all?
Not lately, but I do recognize his name, and
I think he'd be happy to know that as well. So
yeah.
Yeah, now, I met him as well after I came up from Poland. I drove up north, and I think I might be the only one from Sparrow who's ever met him, to be honest. So yeah, which is quite good. So at least I met him anyway, because I think he felt quite out of the way kind of thing, because he didn't come to set or anything while we were filming. So it was kind of good that someone actually got round to meeting him. He actually met someone from the film as well, which is good. So I think that's nice.
Of course, the cast members in this movie, a lot of people that's listening probably won't recognize the names too much, only because of, that's the weird part about foreign movies is, there's a lot of talent that's out there that, now me, I'm different. I really enjoy, like, Australian horror, UK horror.
Oh, okay.
I really get into that. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there's a movie from England called Mum and Dad. Did you ever hear of that one?
No. When was that released?
That was I think it was like a year or two ago. It's filmed in London at the airport.
Mum and Dad?
Yeah, it's a horror movie. I can't remember.
That's quite a bizarre name for a horror film, isn't it? Mum and Dad.
Yeah, well, if you watch it, there's a reason for Mum and Dad. But like I said, I dig a lot of that, a lot of the foreign stuff. It's now lately I had to adapt to it, but there's a lot of horror films that are subtitled.
Yes.
Now you have to have the ability to be able to read and watch at the same time.
I think you need like 3 eyes to do that or something.
And sometimes I get lazy and I say, "Oh shit! I turned my head. What the hell's going on?"
I know exactly. Because you read on the screen, it's like you're saying something just happened. Oh, I just missed it. I wasn't looking.
What the hell? What? It's like, but I got.
I'll go and watch this again. It's not fair.
I just back it up and go, oh, okay, now I get it. But anyways, now I do know that you have, according to Wikipedia, and you mentioned to me earlier on the Messenger and Skype, that you're involved in a new flick.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I started this one back in 2009, actually, to be honest. I started writing it then, and I spent 2 months working on the story and the backstory and everything like that, and I was meant to shoot it in October 2009 actually.
Okay.
But I had like a personal injury happen to me. I was actually out of action for like 6 months. So by the time I started to get back into things, that was January last year, and then I was trying to get into it again, and then Sparrow came up. I got offered that one, so it was postponed a bit longer, and then so I literally only started this one when I came back from Poland, which was in July last year. And I went and shot it in October this year, on Halloween actually, dead on Halloween it was.
Wow.
I know, I filmed it on Halloween, it's pretty awesome. So, but the whole point of filming it in that period is because it's actually set during that period as well. It's set on Halloween weekend in 2010.
Okay.
So that was the reason for doing it as well. So you got like the leaves and the trees are exactly at the same time, and everything that was happening in places was actually happening in the film. You can actually see that's the actual time it happens as well, which is good. So, which makes it more authentic, really, because it's kind of like the found footage films you see, like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch. So, yeah, I'm trying to get that across like as real as possible. So,
no, and the title of the movie is called?
It's called Untitled. It's actually just called Untitled for a reason. So, yeah.
Yeah. So now that's going to be interesting. Now, can you give something about, other than about Halloween, about basically what some of the tidbits of the storyline's about, or you can't say anything yet?
No, it's cool. What it is, you got like a filmmaker and his girlfriend, and the filmmaker friend who's also female, and they have a producer as well, and they all go to a cottage to document what goes on in this cottage, because it's meant to be like the most haunted cottage in Wales. So they want to make a documentary about it.
Okay.
So they go down there with all the cameras and everything like that, and they're there for the whole weekend. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And what it is, because of instead of like waiting for things to happen in the film, like scary things, I filled out with a love triangle in there as well. So I had a really strong B story in there as well. So yeah, it should be quite an interesting film when it's like finished. So that'd be good.
I'm kind of psyched because for a simple reason now, it is filmed in England, correct?
That's I filmed some of it on the south coast of England, some of it in London, and the most of it's done in Wales, in a small cottage in Wales.
Okay. So now, like I said before, now that makes me more intrigued to want to see this because it's hard. It's weird when you watch. I don't know, the Australians and the British. They have a ways of making horror movies because the scenery is so different than over here.
I know.
And it makes it more creepier.
Exactly. It's because it's unknown to you guys, isn't it? I suppose, and I think this is why American films appeal to us a lot more because it's almost like it's not our reality.
It's vice versa.
Exactly.
Now, I told you earlier, and when we talked earlier this morning about Haunted Changi.
Yes, I'm curious about that now.
Yeah,
I really have to check it out.
That was filmed in Singapore. Now, believe it or not, it was in English. I was quite surprised. Thank God.
Seriously?
Because, I don't know. I don't want to have to read. But now that movie, you got to see that one because you have what's that one a couple years ago about that dinosaur that was filmed that is being filmed through the person holding the camera. What the hell is it called? Whatever. Oh, whatever. But the listeners know what I'm talking about. But then you had a couple other ones. But now this is different. This is actually a raw footage of a crew of young filmmakers that wanted to go into this hospital, this building called Changi. It was occupied by the British back in World War II, and then the Germans came in and took it over. The British surrendered it to the Germans, and then the Germans tortured some of the British soldiers and whoever else, and then they ended up getting tortured, the German soldiers, and then they turned it into a hospital.
Wow.
Okay? But the torture chamber was still in the hospital, and the rumors was people were still getting tortured while the hospital was there. Well, the hospital closed up in 97, so these kids wanted to go in there, and they're allowed to go in there for 1 day and 1 night to film.
Right.
And I ain't saying no more. You got to see it. The place is haunted. But the ending's going to flip you out. The ending's going to make you feel weird. Because it made me feel weird, and I haven't forgotten about it since I watched it.
Well, I'll have to get with my friend at Blockbuster to find that one, because that sounds very interesting, to be honest.
Yes.
So,
and,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off base.
No, I mean, I love those sort of films. I love films like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch. I love them all. So, I mean, I think I like the fact that it's like realism, really. Yeah, exactly. And I was trying to do the same with Untitled. I wanted to be raw, and that's literally what I'm trying to do. And I think those films are just very effective,
And some of the scenes in that movie, the scenery in Singapore was, the building alone was creepy. The funny part about this movie, that movie isn't the funny part, but kids hang there at nighttime. These kids,
after this.
Yeah, these kids are crazy.
They've got to be, haven't they? There can't be much to do in Singapore except for hang out at these creepy places.
Hold on a minute. Get this part out. But,
it's cool.
Knock on the door. But yeah, so, anyways, is there anything else going on? I know you
not really. I'm just editing at the moment. I've had some editing problems. Like, as soon as New Year's came, like New Year's Day, I started up my computer and hooked up to the internet and put a virus on my editing computer. Ooh. So I'm trying to get rid of that right now because it's kind of like can't access any files at the moment. So I'm trying to wait for a friend to get in touch to help sort it out. But I've backed up everything on a hard drive anyway, so it's all good. Okay. But I mean, I've just been sorting out sound files in the last couple of days because I've had some really good mics down at the cottage where we're filming, so I've got some really good sound from all the scenes. So I've been transferring those the last couple of days, but really I've got to spend the next 20 weeks editing Untitled, really. So
okay,
because that's my deadline's the 28th of May, so I want it finished by the 28th of May, so it should be done by then. So hopefully be released around Halloween this year. So
sweet. Now,
nice.
Do you want to give the listeners your website address?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I haven't actually got a website address. I'm actually on Facebook. It's probably the best way to find me, I think. So.
Okay. Well, what is the name of your company?
It's Shawnee Wah Films. That's just literally named. Look, my brother used to call me Shawnee. No, my brother used to call me Wah when I was when he couldn't speak. He couldn't say my name properly. He kept calling me Wah.
Oh.
I know. It all comes back from very baby things or things. But that's where that comes from. So my friends and my dad always called me Shawnee Wah, so it's just stuck with that really. So it's called Shawnee Wah Films Limited. That's the name of my company. So
cool.
Yeah,
I will put the link of your of your Facebook on the interview, so they can check
That'd
you
be
out.
great.
But
Awesome.
my grandson's name is Shaun too, so we call him Shawnee. So
Does he spell it the same way as me as well?
yes, same spelling. Yep.
Oh, excellent. Because some people spell it S-E-A-N, don't they? So
Or W-N.
yeah, it's W. That's the other one as well, isn't
Yep.
it?
Yep.
Of course.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on. This is
No problem. No, thanks for
interesting, good info on that, and maybe later on down the road, if you want, we can do another interview about that one.
Of course, I'll be happy to do that. There's absolutely no problem.
That way, you can just full force tell what you want to do and so forth.
Brilliant.
Right.
And there should be another trailer online about March, April sort of time for Untitled anyway, so
Now,
and that will shed more light on why it's called Untitled and how I actually shot most of the film as well, so that'd be good.
okay, now there is a trailer, right?
There is a trailer, actually, that's on YouTube as well.
Okay.
So you can actually go to Untitled Project 2010. That's probably the best way of finding it anyway.
Okay. Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, there's some footage on there. I'll put the other trailer up on there in about a couple of months' time, and so yeah, there'll be another trailer up in a couple of months' time, so that'd be good.
Thank you very much. That sounds great.
No problem.
And you have a great day.
And you too.
And hopefully the snow stops, but who knows?
Exactly. You have to move down to Florida to keep warm.
No, that's all right. No, I've been to Florida. I don't want Florida. I'm happy right where I am. But anyways,
Okay, cool.
thanks again for your time, and you take care.
And you too, Scott. Thank you very much.
Yep, I will post the interview up. It'll be on Facebook, so you'll be able to see it.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Scott. Cheers.
Take care.
Have a good day. Right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, horror fans, this is Ace Marrero, and you are listening to Gruesome Herzog. Dig it!
I'm Jessica Funneborn, and I'm listening to Gruesome Herzog.
This is Yvette Corvea, and most of you know me as Marla from Run Bitch Run. She's a really evil, crazy bitch. And you guys are listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Hi, this is David Z. Stamp, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzogs.
Hey, this is Bill Oberst Jr. I played Dale in the film Dismal, and as Dale would say, let me tell you something. You're listening to Gruesome Herzog. You got Dale's word on that.
Hey, this is James Cotton. I'm a director, writer, producer. You're listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Jack Harrison, action actor and stunt coordinator on three stunt teams. I played the character Idiot in the movie Dismal, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzog.